Hello everyone, I am Amit Maru and today in this video we are going to discuss about C program for bubble sort algorithm. Before starting off this video, I would like to request to all the students, please watch my video on bubble sort. In that description with example already given, so please watch my previous video on bubble sort and then watch our today's video so that you can easily understand whole program. And the link for bubble sort video is available in description, so please watch a video on bubble sort and solve your one example and then watch our today's video so that you can easily understand the program for bubble sort algorithm. So let us start our today's video on bubble sort algorithm. Before starting off our implementation of bubble sort in C programming, I would like to give brief idea about bubble sort, or we can say the basic logic of bubble sort, so that you can easily understand the program. In bubble sort, total n-1 passes will be there, and this n indicates number of elements of the list. If number of element in the list is for example 5, then total 4 number of passes will be there, and after 4 number of passes, or we can say n-1 passes, we will have a list of number into ascending order. So bubble sort basically used to convert list of random number into ascending order. Here I am giving brief idea about the first pass. In a first pass, for example, we have a list of number 9, 5, 3, 10 and 20. This is the list of number, and we are going to convert list of number into ascending order by using bubble sort algorithm. In a first pass, as per the logic of bubble sort, first we have to compare a pair of two number. So first number, that is a 9, will compare with our second element, that is 5. So first 9 and 5 will be compare each other. If first element is larger than the second element, then we must perform a swapping between these two number, or we can say interchange operation must be performed. Here the 9 is larger than the 5, so we must perform interchange operation. So 5 will be move here and 9 will move here. So we can get our next list of number like 5 and 9, and remaining elements are as it is like 3, 10 and 20. Again we have to identify next pair of element, that is 9 and 3. Compare this 9 and 3 and check whether the first element is larger than the second element. Yes, 9 is larger than the 3, so perform swapping operation between these two number. So 5 as it is, then 3 will move here and 9 will move here, and remaining all elements are as it is like 10 and 20. Then again find out the next pair of element like 9 and 10. Now in this case 9 is not larger than the 10, so there will not be any swapping operation. Then find out next pair of element, that is our 10 and 20. So 10 is not larger than the 20, so again there will not be any swapping operation. So in this way we have to perform swapping operation in a different passes, and total n-1 passes will be there. And after n-1 passes, we will have a list of number into ascending order. This is the basic logic of bubble sort algorithms. So let us start our C program for bubble sort algorithm. So as you know that the first step in our C programming is we have to include some header file, because in header file a number of functions available. So if you want to use any function from the system library, then first we have to include some header file. So if you want to use any input output function from the system library, then we have to include input output header file. So we have one standard input output header file, that is has include stdio.h. that is our header file. In that our standard input output functions available. This std indicates standard, and I indicates input, o indicates output, and this h indicates our header file. So first step is we have to include standard input output header file, so that we can use various input output function to display and to get data from the user. Second thing is we have to include another file, that is conio.h, that is console input output header file. In console input output header file, we are using one getch function in our program. At the end of the program, we are writing get ch function to get a character from the keyboard, and this get ch function is available in console input output header file. So first of all we have to include conio.h, that is console input output header file in our program. Now the next step is we have to write our main function. So there are basically two sections in our C programming. One is the main function section and second one is user defined section. So in main function section we have to write one main function. This is our void main. Inside this void main we have to declare different variables. So let's declare some variable like integer n is one variable. It indicates number of elements of the array. We are using, for example, one array with 10 element, a of 10, that is an integer array which has a size 10. So maximum 10 element we can store in our a array which has a size which has a data type integer. So 10 integer elements we can store in our a array, and another variable, that is I. We are declaring another variable, integer variable, that is I. So we have a three variable n, I, and one array a of 10. You can declare any size of array as per your requirement. Now the next step is we have to declare one function, that is a bubble sort algorithm. This is so that we have to declare one function like a bubble. So this is known as a prototyping of the function, because in this whole program we are going to use one function, that is a bubble function. In that we will pass one argument, that is integer variable, and second integer array we are passing as an argument. So this is the declaration of the function. It is also known as prototyping of the function. Now the next step is we have to include one function, that is a clear screen, to clear the screen so that we can clearly read our output of the program. Now second step is we have to display one message like how many elements you want to enter. In array you can enter a maximum number of element, but we have declared a of 10, so maximum 10 element you can enter. But whenever if you want to add more than 10 element, you can add, and you have to change the size of our array. Now we have to read element from the user, so that we have to use a scanf function, scanf %d ampersand of and this function basically used to get data from the user. Once a user will enter data from the keyboard, this value will be stored in your n. This n indicates a number of elements you want to enter, you want to store inside your array. So first you have to ask question how many number of element you want to enter. Your user will enter the value, and this value will be stored in our n variable. Now next again we are printing one message, that is entered number. So we are just displaying a list of number which is entered by the user. Now we have one loop. This loop basically used to store different elements inside the array. So we have to enter, for example, you want to enter 8 element, then this loop will be executed 8 times, because we are starting from I is equal to 0 to I less than n. If the value of n is equal to 8, then we are starting from 0 to 7. So total this loop will be executed 7 times, and different 8 values will be stored inside our array. So this loop will be basically used to store different elements from the user. So use one scanf function to get data from the user, and scanf %d ampersand of a of I. The value of a of for example I is equal to 0, then this will be a of 0. Then after a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, up to the value of n minus 1. So this scanf basically used to get data from the user, and will be stored inside your array. Once we get all the elements inside the array, then we have to call one function, that is our bubble sort function. Call this function bubble and pass n, that is the size of array, or we can say number of elements, and a is nothing but our whole array. So pass whole array as an argument, and size of the array as a argument. And the next one, that is a get ch. As we discussed, get ch is a function basically used to get character from the keyboard. so that we can display our output constantly on the output screen. So now first step is we have to store different variable inside different elements inside the array, and then we have to call this function. When we call this function, at that time the body of the function is available outside the void main, and here we have to declare a body of the function. So as per the body of the function, we have to declare a name of function like a void bubble. We are passing two arguments, that is and this is integer variable and this is the array. So that to receive this variable and list of element inside the array, we have to declare another two variable like integer and integer a of size we are not declaring because we are passing whole array and the size is available here. This n is indicate the size of array. So here we have to pass a whole array and the size of array as an argument. You can use another variable here in place of n. You can use any name of variable here. You can use any name of your array also. So in short, you have to pass different arguments. This is the list of number of elements and the whole array. In that we have stored different variables. Now the next step is we have to declare three local variable like I, j and temp. This I and j basically used for the loop, and temp variable will be used to store a temporary value. Now the next step is you have to display one message, that is sorted elements. Once we sort the element, at the time we have to display, and to sort the element we will have one logic, that is we have to use different loops. So as we discuss, we will have a different two loop, one loop for the different passes. So this loop, this first loop, that is I loop, I is equal to 0 to I less than n minus 1 I plus plus. This loop will be executed n minus 1 time because we have a total n minus 1 passes. So this outer loop basically used for the different passes, and we have a inner loop. Inner loop basically use to perform swapping between two numbers. So this inner loop will be used to swap the number. Inner loop will execute at j is equal to 0 to j less than n minus 1 times. So this loop also will be executed n minus 1 time because this loop basically use to swap different numbers. So every time we have to make a pair of number, and if first number is larger than the second number, then we have to perform swapping. So we will have a n minus 1 pair every time. So this loop will be executed n minus 1 time. In this loop we have to perform swapping between two numbers, so that as we discussed, we have to compare first element with the second element. If first element is larger than the second element, if a of j is greater than the a of j plus 1, initially the value of j is equal to 0, so a of 0 will compare with a of 0 plus 1, that is a of 1. So a of 0, or we can say the first element, will compare with a of 1, it means that second element. So first element will compare with the second element. If first element is larger than the second element, then we have to perform swapping operation. And to perform the swapping operation, we have one variable. This is the temporary variable we are using to swap the number. So take one temporary variable and store the value of the first element, that is a of j, and j is equal to 0, for example, initially. Then a of 0, the value of first position will be stored in our temp variable. Then we have to store value of a value in a of j is equal to a of j plus 1, or we can say the value of second position will be stored in a value of first position, right? So the value of a of j is available in temp, and we have override the value of a of j with a of j plus 1. So next value will be available in our first position. Then we have to again store our first value, that is which is available in our temp, that we have to store in our a of j plus 1. So this is nothing but swapping between two number by using a third variable that we need to perform every time, and this will be performed total n minus 1 time, or we can say this loop will be executed n minus 1 time. and this kind of operation will be done for n minus 1 time, and it is known as different passes. So this outer loop basically executed n minus 1 time, so total n minus 1 passes will be there, and inner loop will be executed n minus 1 time. So there will be swapping between two number. We can say the comparison of pair of number will be n minus 1 time every time, and at the end of n minus 1 passes we will have a list of number into ascending order. Now suppose if you wish to display this list of number on the output screen, then again one loop is required, and this loop will be executed I is equal to 0 to I less than n, or we can say this loop will be executed n times, so that we can display all the number. And to display the number we are using a printf function. So use printf function, printf percentage %d, and display value of array, that is our a of I. So a of I, if the value of I is equal to 0, so first time we'll display the value of a of 0, second time the value of I will be 1, so we'll display the value of a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, like that. So in this way we'll display different values on the output screen. So this is the simple program, or we can say the C program for the bubble sort algorithm, right? So now when we run this program, at that time, as we discussed, first we'll ask to the user, that is how many number you want to enter. If user say total number he want to enter, that is a 7 suppose, then we have to enter different 7 numbers, or we can say this is a random list of number we have to enter. For example, first one is 8, second one is 4, then after suppose 2, then after suppose 9, then after for example 6, then after 1, and then after last value, that is suppose 6. Sorry, 6 is available, so use another variable, another value, for example 3. Then this is the list of number into ascending order, 1 2 3 4 6 8 and 9, right? So in this way we can convert a random list of number into ascending order by using bubble sort. So this is all about C program of bubble sort algorithm. So thank you very much.